Hola, from the west side. It is me, DCThePurpleDiva. Welcome to Not So Random Chat. Happy Saturday, y'all. I know it is late. It's late. But I said I was going to come on, and I didn't want to say I was going to come on and then not come on. But I don't think I'm going to be on for a long time tonight. I'm in the voice now. Sorry, y'all. Being on set today was a lot, especially when you're being the production assistant. And I lost it on set. And when I got home, so I have to apologize to my dude. But he's watching the game right now, so he ain't trying to talk to me right now. But I had some things I wanted to talk about. Just a couple of things that have been in the news lately. Well, yeah. First thing, y'all remember that guy, that 17-year-old who shot 2 people, killing them, and fatally wounded someone else in one of the protests? Well, guess who got him out of jail, y'all, or helped to get him out of jail? Because they gave him a high bail, thankfully. But your good old friend, Ricky Schroeder from Silver Spoons. Y'all remember him? Well, Rick Schroeder is apparently a staunch trumpeter and a staunch conservative. And oddly enough, his first movie was with John Voight, who's also a conservative. Oh, and John Voight, yeah, that's Angelina's daddy. Jolie, that is. But yeah, Rick Schroeder gave, I think, either $100,000 or $150,000 towards this guy's bail. And I know the bail, I think the bail was somewhere like $1 million. I think it was only right. He killed 2 people. And he was in his right mind. Nothing was wrong with dude. He just did it. Sorry, you guys. I haven't eaten all day. And I'm sitting here eating some gumbo. I know y'all like, DC, you are always eating. And you're skinny. Sorry. Blame it on my daddy's genes. And this gumbo's good. And if you gain a whole bunch of weight from eating gumbo, I don't know what to tell you. And I have me a piece of cornbread. I do not like cornbread. The only time I will eat cornbread is when it is paired with gumbo. So I can just soak up all the gumbo juice and all I taste is gumbo. Only way I'll eat it. But I'm really surprised at Rick Schroeder. I wonder if Alfonso Ribeiro knew this when he was on Silver Spoon with Rick Schroeder, that he supported racism. And I'm not saying that because he's a Trump supporter. I'm saying that because he wouldn't help bail this boy out, who killed 2 people. That's what I call white privilege if I've ever seen it. Rick Schroeder, shame on you. Hey, Dan and Fem. Shame on you. What about the 2 people who lost their lives because this man came out there and shot them? He was not out there protecting anything. He was out there to do exactly what he did. And he's 17 years old, so he's old enough to be tried like an adult. And he should be. I mean, this is like, to me, you guys, this is like the guy that shot up the church. And on the way to the police station, they stopped at Burger King or McDonald's or something and got him something to eat. And in this case, they let this fool go home before they went and got him. So now he's out on bail because all of these people raised this money for him, and nothing against them raising the money. But what message are you sending is my question. What message are you sending to the masses? It's just crazy, guys. This 17-year-old shot 2 people and seriously injured a 3rd person. Yet you guys raised all this money to get him out on bail. Meanwhile, you'll have young Black men who are in jail for far lesser charges. They didn't kill anybody. They didn't even rob anybody, but they had possession of a narcotic. So they sit in jail forever, destroy their entire lives while they're waiting for trial. Meanwhile, this little boy gets out. Hey, Pammy Clyde. This little boy gets out. I don't know what that says to the country. And I'm like, nah. And then the other person, you guys, who donated money towards this boy getting out was the man who makes my pillow. Shoot. I like my pillow. No, I'm not going to have, now I can't use it no more. Damn it. Now, I believe, I knew he was a Trumper. Okay? I don't have an issue with either one of them being Trump supporters. I got an issue with them helping to bail this dude out who killed 2 people. That's what I have an issue with. Yes, My Pillow. The Ricky Schroeder, who was on GOAT on Silver Spoon, and the guy who is the inventor of My Pillow, who owns that company, they are the ones who gave huge amounts so that was enough for them to get that dude out of jail. He got out of jail on November the 20th. And he had at least $1 million bail. So these people, this is what they did with their money. And from what I understand, the little boy is a supremacist. He's a white supremacist. And at 17, he knows right from wrong. So it's upsetting that he is now out. So what does that say about the are those 2 people's lives not worth anything? Are those 2 people's lives not worth anything, really? And what about the person he critically injured? Y'all remember when this happened a few months ago? And how the boy was able to leave, and then he was in jail. Well, as of this weekend, he's no longer in jail. No longer in jail. Thanks to Rick Schroeder and the My Pillow guy. Crazy. And I like My Pillow. They are really comfortable. I was getting ready to buy another one for my guy. Oh, man. I gotta boycott that freaking company. Even though I know it's not going to do any good if we cancel both of them. It's not going to have an impact. Meanwhile, in Georgia, we have 2 Senate races that are very, very important. Because if the Democrats win in those 2 races, the Senate will be even. And then maybe we have a chance of our country at the national level being able to do something for all the people, because it's evenly, distributed between the 2, unfortunately, reigning parties. Let me see what you guys are saying. Yeah, it's just sad to me the dude did that. And I like Rick Schroeder. I mean, I did. I liked his acting, but I also know that dude has a history of domestic violence. He's beat up some chick several times. Hopefully it's not the one he's currently with. So that already pushed him down a notch. And now you're going to go and you're going to take $150,000 or $100,000. Either way, it doesn't matter. It's a bunch of money that you put towards this dude's bail. Because he couldn't get a bail bondsman. So now, if all of them paid his full bail, what if he skips? Everybody who put into that is going to lose their money. I'm just saying. Hey, 1SP. I thought you left. I didn't know you were still here. I thought you had come in and, shared me out and then left me. I thought you left because I know I'm on late. I know it's late for everybody else, but I was on set today. I did go live during the day. It was like late this afternoon, and I was on for about 30 minutes. So I probably won't be on for a whole hour tonight, but I wanted to get on because I needed to talk about that. That just really, really disappointed me. And I tweeted about it on my Twitter. I tweeted to him. I said, shame on you at Ricky Schroeder 13, because that's his Twitter account. I'm disappointed in you. I am. I'm disappointed in him. And the guy's name is Kyle Rittenhouse. That's the 17-year-old. Who he helped to bail out, along with the My Pillow guy. Hey, JV. Thank you. I know you're going to bed. Thank you for coming through. Hey, Miss Pamela. We're in the middle of Corona, but yeah, you got $150,000 or $100,000 to give to this clown to bail him out of jail. Really? Is that what you're doing with your money nowadays, Ricky Schroeder? Oh, but he is one of the 50 influential Hollywood conservatives, along with his pal, John Voight, Angelina's daddy. They're conservatives. She don't even speak to her father. So that says a lot about his relationship with his child. She don't even speak to her daddy. I think he's done a couple of crazy things, but just crazy. Oh, Mr. Newsom, man, I'm so sick of him. So, now he's trying to ban down the state. It's basically with Mr. Newsom, it's do as I say, not as I do. So we're going to see how this Thanksgiving goes, because LA County is, along with multiple other counties, are now doing this 10 o'clock curfew from 10 to 6 in the morning for restaurants and bars and all of that. So everybody got shut their businesses down at 10 p.m. And for some of the restaurants who were operating outside, they didn't have people inside. Now they're going to have to lay off people because they won't be able to serve people up to 10 o'clock. That means the late service shift will now have to be gone, because the restaurants are going to be able to keep them on, because if they keep them on, then they'll go bankrupt and then the restaurants go away. But I do believe that they'll still be able to do your DoorDash, your Postmates, and your Grubhub. And Uber Eats. Let's not forget Uber Eats. They'll be able to do all of those still, for carry out. They just won't be able to be open. Oh, yes. That's my next story, you guys. So my next story is about Rudy Giuliani and 45's sons, both testing positive. I talked about this earlier today, but they both tested positive for Corona. If Mr. Biden does not have that entire White House fully deep cleaned, if it wouldn't be so distasteful, I'd say, drag stuff out and burn it. And by God, please, Mr. Biden, just get rid of those freaking gold toilets. They're probably utterly contaminated. Utterly. So yeah. So that this is 2 more people in the Trump camp who have tested positive for COVID. I'm smiling, even though you guys can't see me smiling right now, but I'm smiling because I think it's wonderful. Goes along with everything else that's going with the Trump end of his administration. And before I forget, some crazy person, I can't remember her name, doesn't matter, it's one of the blondes he has, had the audacity to say that 44 did not transition 45 and that he was never accepted as president and blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, someone pulls up a newsreel that shows 45 saying how magnificent the job was and that Mr. Obama did. Because we all know that Mr. Obama let him hear everything, did not stop him from seeing anything. Because he was done. He had done his 2 terms. He was good. This man is sourpuss because he feels that he was ripped off from a second term. I'm so sorry, Mr. Trump, but that's really not the way it appears. It appears that you legitimately lost. And that you're just going to go ahead and fight all these battles. Meanwhile, on December 14th, the Electoral College is going to go ahead and do their duty by the Constitution and vote Joe Biden in as the next president with the 307, I believe, electorals that he has. It is what it is, and the longer that Mr. Trump, continues to not do the transition, he never has to concede. Nobody's waiting. We're past concession, dude. We don't need you to concede. We just need you to do the transition. Okay? That's what we need you to do. Because the longer that you don't do that, you're, number one, putting our country at risk, national security at risk. Number 2, you are muddying up your own freaking legacy. That's what you're doing. You're muddying up your legacy. You don't want to be known as the worst president, but the things that you're doing are going to make it so that you will be known as that. Even Mr. Richard Nixon, I am not a crook, will be a better president than you because of how you are doing this, dude. Nobody's asking you to resign. We're just asking you to transition. You've been fired. Live with it. Be dignified about it, Mr. Trump. I'm like, geez, man, he's 75 years old. Is this the first time that he's ever been fired? Well, I guess so, because hasn't he always been self-employed? He's always been self-employed. So I guess he's never been fired. Now, yes, he's the one who's always done the firing. And he's continuing that legacy on his way out the door. He's continuing it on the way out the door. That's what he's doing. It's just, you know, I thought he would do a bunch of stuff, you know, but I at least thought he would do the transition part and do all his other nonsense along with it. You know, kicking and screaming. But here's what I think. In 4 years, if the Republican Party is smart, they will have moved on. Because if they haven't in 4 years, it's going to be sad for them. Because now, how many of you guys really think that Joe Biden is going to run for a second term? Y'all think he's going to run for a second term? Or do you think that his sole purpose was to get Donald Trump out? I think that was his sole purpose. And he couldn't have waited 4 more years because, hell, he'd have been 80-something, y'all. He'd have been 80-something. You know, I mean, y'all pushing it in the 70s. I'm sick of the 70s. You know, can we go back to presidents in their 50s again? We were spoiled with Mr. Obama, y'all. He was in his 40s when he started, and he was in his 50s when he left. He just turned 60. He just turned 60 in 2020 because he was born in 1960. He just turned 60. See, that's what you need the president to be when he's out of office. You don't need him to be over that age going into office. But this is what we do to ourselves. And it's also because maybe we didn't have the best credible younger candidates. So I think we need to get stronger younger candidates. We do. Because see, when Mr. Obama ran, he was the younger candidate. But he was strong. You know, I know Kamala thought she was going to do what he did, but can't. There's only one person who was like him. You know, he's a constitutional lawyer. He knew how to do it. So, you know, y'all don't see me dancing in the streets, even though you've seen people dancing in the streets because Biden's going to be in office, but they weren't really dancing in the streets for Biden. They were dancing in the streets because Trump is going to be out of office. See, that's what Mr. Trump doesn't understand. That some people wanted him out of office so bad, they didn't care who the opponent was. Now, that's nothing against Mr. Biden, but it's just the truth. It's just the truth. Well, you know, Pelosi is the governor of the state of California. That's her nephew. Birds of a feather flock together. And, you know, it wasn't too long ago that she went into a hair salon without a mask on before it was approved to go into a hair salon. I mean, she went into a hair salon inside of one before it was approved to go into one. Hey, Fable Lily. What's up, sis? So, that Mr. Newsom will be at a dinner with, I don't care how many people were there, with no mask on, and with the the American Medical Association lobbyists, along with the president of the Northern California region of the American Medical Association at that same dinner with him, when they are the ones who've been advocating, doing ads, telling everybody to wear their masks, and here you guys are at a dinner, not even social distancing. Makes him look like a clown. Okay? Makes him look like a clown. And that everything else that he's been doing is for show. For show. That's all it's about. Because clearly he's not practicing what he preaches. Because we just saw what he does in private. He doesn't wear a mask. He doesn't social distance. Yet and still, he is killing the economy in the state of California. Killing it right now. Because at this point, there has to be a way for kids to safely go back to school with masks on, for businesses to safely open back up with the proper, things in place. But, you can't run a state like this, y'all. You can't. And in my head, I'm thinking, when is he up for re-election? Because it can't come soon enough. He might make me vote Republican, and I don't normally vote Republican, but I did vote Republican for the governor when I voted for Schwarzenegger. Trust me. We needed Gray Davis the hell out of there. We did. And I just feel like right now we got another Democrat in as the governor of the state of California who is not doing his job. Because when it comes to the governor of the state, most of the people in the state who, whether they're Democrat or Republican, they don't care which party is in charge in that office as long as they do their daggone job. And right now, Mr. Newsom is getting a C. He's getting a C because of his behavior. And he still hasn't given any kind of parameters for churches and synagogues, all houses of worship to open back up. Yet and still, casinos could open up. Casinos could open up. But people can't go to the house of worship. And I know my own house is a house of worship, and I can go to church online, but I don't know about y'all, but if you are someone who does like to fellowship, it is such a blessing to be in the presence of others who believe like you do. Even if you can't touch them. Even if you are social distancing. But right now, the only place we can do our services is outside. So once a month, we do our service outside. But winter's coming. And even in California, sometimes in the wintertime, it's not good to be outside on a Sunday afternoon. You know, it it may not be raining, but if it's chilly, we're not going to be standing out there at 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Because we have multiple members who are older. I don't consider myself older. I'm talking about people who are in their 70s. We got some in their 80s too, that are members of our congregation who come to these outdoor services. I mean, for a lot of us, this is the only time we can socialize. Even if we're just there praising the Lord, we can see other people around us that don't live in the same household as us. It's a blessing. It's refreshing. And I'm sure that most houses of worship would actually follow the protocol if they were allowed to. You only have a few hardheads. You only got a few that would be hard-headed and would pack the house. Only a few. The rest of them would figure out a way to make it work. But right now, we can't even go back in our buildings. I'm sorry. 25 people is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And then you say we can't sing if we're inside. Now, if you're a church that doesn't sing to the Most High, that might be fine for you. But that's what he enjoys most. He enjoys the worship. And this governor is, trying to impede it. And I think right now, and I'm just speaking based on what I'm hearing, pastors are getting tired of this. And they're about to revolt. And they're about to have Sunday services. Somehow, some way. Every Sunday. And be able to open their doors back up. Because this is absolutely ludicrous. It's taking away people's rights to freedom of religion, to freedom to worship and express. Even the Satanists can't go to their, to their church. Yeah, the Church of Satan, they can't go to church either. There's a Church of Satan here in the Los Angeles area. That's how they can't go either. They have the same thing. They consider themselves a church. But you guys, I'm going to get ready to get off of here because it is late. And I came on earlier. But I promised I was going to come on. I do have more that I want to talk about, but I am tired. And I don't want to be on here and sound like I'm half asleep. So I'm going to come on camera for, I don't know, whoever's in the room, even if it's just me. Let's see. All right. I know my hair is like all over my head. It's been a long day, y'all. But I thank you guys for coming through. I appreciate each and every person who watches my videos, watches my live streams when they're on, come back and watches the replays, plays my playlist. Just supports my channel. I appreciate all of you guys because I am inching closer and closer and closer. And I'm so close that, I thought that I would get there this week, but I had a couple little mishaps with my hours. going up and down, but I think we're back on track. So hopefully by Thanksgiving, so I can go into December, a monetized channel. That will be a wonderful Christmas gift. Anyway, you guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow. We are filming again tomorrow. This is, movie sets, acting life. We're filming again tomorrow. Hopefully we can get it done tomorrow and be able to move to the next project, which I am in, and I'm not a production assistant on. But she's trying to flip the script on me and trying to make me play a different role than the one I played. But the role that I played is made perfectly for me because it's the only skinny girl in the entire script. Anyway, I will see you guys tomorrow. Until then, I offer you guys peace and blessings from the West Side. See you guys. Peace.